because they are insecure. Insecure people do not get inspired. They get jealous. They feel even more insecure when they see people who are of good energy. So you will not inspire him. You will not help him level up to your level. He will try to drag you down because every time he looks at you, he's reminded of what he is not, of what you are. So if in order to keep a guy, you're gonna have to fight your intuition, keep questioning yourself, try and quiet your thoughts, try to shush them, try to argue with yourself in order to prove why he should be here. If you're gonna have to fight your friends or hide things from them or ignore what people say, that person is just not for you. A man is never worth your peace of mind. You cannot trade your identity, your intuition, everything in your brain is telling you for a guy. He's never that worth it. And these thoughts exist for a reason. When you keep trying to fight yourself, when you keep trying to argue, when you keep trying to find reasons why this man should be okay, this man should feel right, when it just feels wrong, he's not the one. He's just gonna be a lesson. I don't even like calling them lessons. He's just gonna be something to look back on and be like, that's that. Okay, so this is the kind of shit that makes you just get up and be like, oh man, I'm actually recording my other phone. I look exhausted as fuck. So, right, let's just get straight into it. First of all, why should a powerful woman, such as Liz, for example, has to be really, really careful about who to choose? The world is full of a lot of insecure men, okay? A lot of insecure people. But if we're going to talk about men, insecure men, one thing about them is that they find these strong women and they feel so threatened, so intimidated, that their first thought is, okay, how can I get into your field of energy? How can I harvest your energy? How can I break you? How can I bring you down? Because you're so confident. And I, as a man with a fragile ego, would be like, this is bothering me. This is bothering me a heck ton. Okay, this is bothering me a lot. So, you as a powerful woman, as a successful woman, cannot choose a man who's under your level. No. Okay, and like, let's keep it real. Do men ever, like 99% of the time, do they ever choose somebody who is below their level, out, who they would be out of their league? No. When men choose, they go above their level because they have such audacity, or they would choose a woman the same level as them, okay? And the thing is, when you choose a guy, he's gonna have to be way above your level, or, just as strong as you are, so you can like be sure that they're gonna be confident. They're not gonna be insecure. Because when you choose somebody who's kind of below your level, who's insecure, who's treating you as a dream, there is a difference between somebody who's respecting you, who likes you a lot, who loves you, and somebody who looks at you as an idea, as an obsession. And to be honest, I've always noticed this. Just the way they always exist next to each other, he is just not comfortable. All right? And, I don't want to talk about this as like an event. I just want to talk about this as an example because we never really know. But Liz herself said she ignored her intuition. Now, there's this other point. If in order to keep a man, you're going to have to silence yourself. You're going to have to ignore your intuition. You're going to have to ignore your friends. You're going to have to hide things from your friends. You're going to have to disregard many things in order to be able to keep that man, in order to be able to sit with yourself and be like, okay, he's here. If you're going to have to fight yourself in order to allow this man to be there, if you're going to have to keep shushing your thoughts, just know this isn't the one. The right man will not have you argue with yourself and your principles. The right man will not have you argue with yourself and fight for him. He's just going to be natural. He's going to be comfortable. Your body's going to be like, yeah, I'm safe here. But if you feel this maybe even, I would say, if you feel aggression towards him, if something is wrong, if you keep getting this unexplainable ick, I'm sorry, you're going to have to ask yourself, why don't I feel okay with you? Keeping a man should not cost you your peace of mind. Okay? No man is worth it. Okay? No man is worth it to have you question your sanity. No man is worth having to question your sanity, having to fight your intuition. Then he's just not the one, and your body will always know. Okay? And people around you sometimes will always know, because one thing I've also noticed is that the comments about this dude, all the time, they're like, something is off about him. If sometimes we have to listen to others. But you cannot keep ignoring your intuition, the people, everything. Then there's something wrong in it. Then there's something wrong in this whole thing. So as a really powerful woman, you must know that the world is full of a lot of insecure losers. And when they see you, they will feel threatened. When they feel threatened, they just keep studying you. They're so intimidated by you. They take you as a goal to reach. Okay? It's like they're trying to build a connection with you brick by brick, just so they can destroy it, just so they can crush you under this connection. Okay? So do not choose a man that is not of your level. Because they will study you and they will just want to be with you. They will love to have people see you next to them. They will take you as this, their persona, because they don't have a personality. Okay, so they will take you as their aura. Okay, if you find yourself adding so much aura next to that dude, if you feel like you're his vibe, okay, you're his whole energy, and he's utilizing that, something is wrong, girl. He's gonna have his own presence. Okay, he's gotta like have his own aura with him. So obviously that dude lacked that shit ton, actually, and she must have noticed this. Liz is so amazing. She is one of the reasons I am in many ways the way I am. So this isn't even, I wouldn't even call a mistake. And if, again, a third thing, you don't call a man a mistake. You don't be like, I'm at fault. No, he's at fault. He lost you. That's it. But for you, that dude isn't even there. Okay, you made a mistake. I don't even remember you. You don't talk about him because, again, an insecure dude will be so happy they broke you, and now everybody's watching. Okay, so you cannot be like, oh, he did this, oh man, how was I tricked? You don't share this. You do not share this because he will be happy. This is an achievement in his eyes. He wanted to see this strong person focus on herself, talking about this and that and making these big moves. He wanted her to pause and be like, okay, I was just tricked. You were not tricked. He is his own failure, okay? And he will regret this. Life will throw punches at him. Life will destroy him. You're vibing, Something is wrong, that's okay. Something went wrong. Somebody tried to trick me, somebody tried to manipulate me, that's okay. Love will sometimes cloud your judgment, it's fine. But once you take notice that, oh my god, this happened, oh, I was actually being manipulated, I was being studied, I was being intimidated, you pause. You don't make this a part of you. You don't talk about this as it was this grave mistake, and you don't know what to do, you don't know how to get back from this. No. Okay, this guy fumbled. That's okay. Bye. That's it, because this is his goal. He was watching you live the way you live, do the things that you do, and he wanted to mess with that. He wanted to be a part of the conversation. He wanted to pause whatever you're doing and be the person that is on your mind, the person that you'll know how to talk about. Insecure men will try to bring down strong women and will love watching her dissociate from herself. You don't know what to do anymore. So you don't do that. He wasn't a grave mistake. He was nothing. Like a fly. A fly would sometimes, bother you for a minute, and then they go. That's basically all I could say. If you know you're that woman, okay, you have to be really careful when it comes to choosing the man that you would be with, okay? Because your aura is powerful. People notice. I don't really give a shit when people say, "Oh, there's no such thing. Nobody's, against you. You're over dramatic." No, I'm not being over dramatic, because I know that as a woman, I have this presence that will definitely attract everybody. But one thing about people who shine the most is that they definitely do attract moth. Okay, it's literally a great example in real life. You know how you see the lights are usually surrounded by flies. Okay, so your light will definitely attract the wrong people, just as it could attract the right people. But to be honest, it would attract people who just want to harvest your energy, who just want to feed on who you are. So that's okay. We attract them. Love can cloud their judgment, and then we'll be fine. We will be fine. But just a really, really, really important thing to keep in mind. Mistakes can happen. You disregard this whole man because he wants to be your whole identity. Because he doesn't have his own personality. So all he can do is just mess with other people's personality. Try to meddle with your energy. That's okay. Somebody studied you. Somebody manipulated you. Somebody watched your every tactic, your every move. And they kept approaching from this seemingly obsessed in love approach. But no. Sometimes they just want to feed on your energy, which is okay. Remember that men don't date or choose women who are under their level. They always go above their level. Somebody who's like completely out of their league. okay, or somebody who's at least, matching them. So you as a woman should do this. You as a woman should actually religiously commit to this. Like, if I'm gonna see a guy, if I'm gonna, agree on being with a man, he's gonna have to be way, way, way above my level, because I don't want him to drag me down. He cannot drag you down. He will. Unfortunately, 99% of the time, men who are below you will not be able to handle that. Even if, maybe he didn't have bad intentions when he was approaching you. Maybe he didn't want to have bad intentions. Okay, but he becomes obsessed. Okay, and he doesn't see you as a person. He sees you as this power that is just stronger than him, because he's inferior. That's just the way he thinks. He cannot appreciate you. He cannot be inspired by you. He can only be scared, intimidated, obsessed. And when a person is your fan, not your lover, not your admirer, when they're your fans, they could so easily turn into haters, because they will always see you from this point. I'm comparing myself to you. I'm watching you. And after some time, I'm prying. I'm not even watching. I keep looking at you and I keep being like, oh man, nope. I keep failing. You're not my level. So what am I going to do? I'm going to try to cheat on you. I'm going to try to destroy your self-image, your self-confidence. I'm going to, little by little, be more violent, be more aggressive, because I don't love you. I'm obsessed with you. There's a huge difference. So be careful, be careful, be careful. It's okay, make mistakes. As soon as you find out that this person is a piece of dirt, you leave them. You leave them, because they now want to see, okay, now what will happen after I broke her? This strong person everybody's looking up to, guess what? I broke that. No, you did not. No, you did not. You fumbled. You failed yourself. Me, I'm going to be just fine. I'm going to do just fine. Give me a month and you're not even going to be, I'm going to be remembering your name by choice. That's okay. Never feel like you failed yourself just because somebody literally worked so hard in order to convince you that, oh, I love you, I'm here for you, and then only just to pry, just to kill you, okay? Just to want to destroy you. That's okay. You didn't fail. You, as somebody who's, operating from this concept of pure potentiality and love, of course, because you love yourself, you understand why others would too. But again, when you're a pure person, you cannot always, see the upcoming evil intentions of others. You cannot understand the evil nature of others just because you're so pure, which is fine. But we learn from our mistakes. We learn from our mistakes and we completely let them go, because do not make a man who was just obsessed with you and wanted to hurt you your identity. You look at that person once and be like, you don't exist to me anymore. You're not a lesson. You're nothing. Because they want to see you preach on them. They want to see you be like, yeah, this dude was at what was a low point in my life. You were nothing. Again, I am who I am. Of course, I will attract the wrong people sometimes, but I will always get back from anything that broke me, okay? I'll always be able to return to myself. You're not going to be my identity. You're not going to be something I preach about. I level up, I let you go, and now you go sit quiet in a corner. And I swear to God, he is so obsessed with her because, she's the only thing he posts about, and he's just craving validation. And let me tell you, I'm sorry, but I 100% know that he's enjoying this. Because, I don't know, I've always felt this vibe about him, that he's just watching her, he's very obsessed. He's not calm around her. He's acting. He feels like he's got to perform. So, sometimes people, whether bad, it's like man, woman, they just want to be in your field of energy, and then they will start to hurt you. They just want to be close to you. They will study you, and then they will try to copy you. They will try to hurt you, and every time they keep realizing that, oh, I cannot reach this person's level. So, okay, let's try to hurt her. Let's try to be a part of her gossip, okay? Let's have people gossip about us. They will be happy when people start gossiping about you. I had a girl like that. She started getting close to me. She started copying me, and after some time she realized she cannot be me. So what am I going to do? Oh, okay, I'm going to talk badly about you. And I'm going to have people talk about the disputes we have. She was so happy that people are like, oh, Hannah and something's going on between them. She was so happy that our names are now mentioned together. She tried so hard to associate herself with me. What do? You move on. You recognize the moth, right? And you freaking spray it. That's it. It's as simple as that. You do not make them your whole identity, because this is their goal from the start. I swear to God. Men, this isn't men, this is boys. There are good men in this world. And it's your right and something you deserve that you find them. So never let a man be your, endpoint. Never let a man be like, oh yeah, he broke me. No, don't let him be the last chapter in that book. Don't even let him be one page. You don't exist to me. Just like a fly that was attracted to a light. I'm still shining, girl. And there will be other flies. But I'm still light. Okay? you move on like it's nothing. Do not let somebody have you start talking about them as a failure because they just want to be a part of your talks. Keep talking about your success. Keep talking about who you are, your identity. Keep being that diva. And yeah, I'm not really sure. This was so fast, I just brainstormed. But again, Liz is one of these women that has such high presence and such high energy that of course, somebody would want to hurt that. That's okay. But I just know that she'll be just fine. I just know that the best thing about strong women is that they come back stronger each and every time. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm like, as much as I'm like shocked, I'm like, oh man, that comeback is, she never left to start with, but I just can't even imagine how stronger her mindset would be. How this will teach her so many things about everything about herself. And I'm just so excited to see what she will have to say about this. But yeah, that's me brainstorming about this.